Hey everybody, it's On Screen Off Screen with Josh Conlon and myself. We like to watch movies that affect our lives and stuff that affects our lives affect what we watch. Um, so, no, I have to pull up. Okay, there we go. Um, I see that Conlon has Happy Gilmore too. Tell us about
I do.
that.
So, I am a huge fan of early Adam Sandler. Massive, massive fan. Um, I have struggled with him for a while, like most people have. And Happy Gilmore 2 was not an exception for me. I did not enjoy this movie very much at all. And the thing is, I don't hate it. I literally did another topic this week because I just don't have that much to say. I felt absolutely nothing from this movie. Literally nothing. Um, I was watching it and I was hoping that it would be something, but I didn't laugh at all but once. I think I laughed one time. Um, I didn't like how. So I'm going to talk all full spoilers about this movie. It starts off and you have the relationship from the first movie that is very, very sweet and is one of my favorite little rom-com relationships in maybe anything. I really, really like the relationship in the first movie. I love their ice skating moment. I think it's one of my favorite little romance bits in anything. I think it's just like, if there's a cute sickle moment, it is that moment. I really like it. And in this one, he starts off, and a ball just hits his wife, who is for some reason just standing right there. It's a dumb place to stand. It doesn't even make sense where she's standing. She's not standing at the end where they're going to put it in, and she's not standing at the beginning where he's going to hit. And the entire time I was like, why the freak is she just in the middle? And why is she by herself in the middle? She's like perfectly standing where she can get conked in the face and die. It was dumb. You have this character that's about hope and about change, but they don't. There's nothing hopeful about it. It's just depressing. Um, and you have this. The jokes are all forced. It is all jokes from the first movie. Even they have the hand, the wooden hand, and his son, the character's son, has a wooden hand. Why? Why would the character's son also have the same wooden hand? It was just played off for a stupid joke. None of them work. When you do jokes that reference the old thing, you have to do something new with them, or they just feel like complete nostalgia bait. And this entire movie is just nostalgia bait, and it's boring and it's dull. Um,
Welcome to my life watching an Adam Sandler.
yeah, dude, it's totally. I get it, Josh. Like, I get why people don't like Adam Sandler. For me, it works. And you have Shooter. Maybe I don't like this as much as I was gonna give it like a medium, but I'm getting more annoyed with this movie as I talk about it. You have Shooter McGavin, who in the first one tries to kick your grandma out of her home and leave her homeless, tries to beat you up, tries to like frame you, rob you, do all of these different things. He's a complete and utter douchebag. And all of a sudden you're back together and everything's fine. It's all hunky dory. It was dumb. The dumb choice. Don't know why they did that. The I think it's cool that everybody likes the first Happy Gilmore, and you have all of these people that wanted to be in this movie, but there are too many cameos. There's way too many, and it's like they took the Bob Barker cameo from the first one, and they're like, that is the best part of the movie, so we're just going to make this entire movie that. And I didn't like it. I didn't like any of the cameos. I was kind of excited for Eminem. No, it wasn't good. It was very, 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 very cheesy. The whole surgery so that you can become a superhuman golfer, I thought was dumb. Happy just having a kind of a unique, weird golf swing that worked for him works from the first one for me. Everybody having this super mutant, I'm going to separate your pelvis or whatever the freak it is so that you can swing a golf ball more was just stupid. The I think they were trying to reference what's the Saudi league with golf, Josh?
Live golf.
I think they were trying to make fun of Live Golf, which I do appreciate, with this uh, new, more exciting golf that is trying to take over. I like that commentary if they were trying to make that commentary. But then the golf tournament is actually just ridiculous. Like, he misses the shot, but the guy falls over because he's too dizzy, and then all of a sudden the ball goes in, and everybody's like, "Yay!" Not nearly as good as the Happy Gilmore uh, original last shot. Like, it's a lot more satisfying, a lot more enjoyable. I just the entire movie, I just sat there and I watched it, and I was like, I think Adam Sandler for me works in his old movies because he's always this 20-something-year-old kid that has a unique ability that guides him to where he needs to be. And that is a very relatable, very I, like I I think we're all kind of going through that, trying to figure out where we belong. And the unique ability adds a flair and makes the movie really enjoyable. But it also has a lot of heart because you're watching Adam Sandler, who is lost in his life, find something. This movie doesn't have that, and when he's older, it doesn't work. When you're a 20-something, you're trying to figure out what you're doing, cool. When you're a 45-something trying to figure out what you're doing, it makes you feel like you're a loser. And it doesn't work anymore. It's not enjoyable, it's not connective, it's not where you want your life to be. The last Adam Sandler movie that worked for me really well was Click, and it's because they switched that formula just on its head. I know Josh doesn't like Click. I do like Click. Click, you have this.
Fine, but like you said, last Adam Sandler movie.
I also like. There was one
Bedtime
other one.
Stories is the best Adam Sandler movie.
Bedtime Stories was before Click, wasn't it?
Not even close.
Not even close. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't like Bedtime Stories as much as you do, but I do like that one. I'm also not counting Hotel Transylvania. The other one that I did enjoy since then, I liked Blended pretty well. And I liked the one with Just Go With It. I also did like Just Go With It. Click, I very much enjoyed because they flipped the formula. So you have Adam Sandler, he has this normal everyday family, and he's a normal guy, and he's pretty successful, but he doesn't appreciate the life that he has. So you put an extraordinary circumstance in there, which isn't like a super golf swing, or being super rich, or having like the ability to tackle anybody. Like, it's not that. It's a clicker that lets you skip some of your life. And a lot of people are skipping their lives all the time. It's a very, very common thing. Adam Sandler is in this like normal everyday situation. You put something crazy into it, and he realizes the normal everyday life that he already received is worthwhile. He already figured out. It's like he already played the earlier movies. He already figured out that he's a good at football, and he can get the love of his life. He already figured out that he's not a complete idiot, and he doesn't have to sit by the pool all day. He already figured out that he can hit the golf ball, and he can be with the girl, and he can be a good guy. He already figured those things out, and now he has the normal family life, and he has to learn to reappreciate it. That's something that you can connect with, and that's something that you can be drawn into. If you don't have something that you can be drawn into, Adam Sandler movies don't work, in my opinion. That's kind of my thoughts on Adam Sandler, not just Happy Gilmore 2. But yeah, and Happy Gilmore 2 to me was like a 4. I would rather watch Black Panther than this again. Didn't really like it. Didn't really hate it. It was just kind of a yeah.
Yeah, I think when you said you were gonna watch Happy Gilmore 2, I watched it because cameos, and I was looking for a specific cameo that never even showed up.
Which one was it?
It was supposed to be the they were gonna do an AI thing of the kid from, I think his name's Carlos something. He's
The
from
kid
like
who
the
played his son.
Descendants. Yeah. And so I was like looking for that, and I never saw it. But yeah, there was an insane amount of cameos, and I felt like this was just a show of cameos. And then also to mention the point at the end where there's that spinning hole, and like if you stepped on it, it would move the ball. When he overshot, I was like, oh, cool. All he has to do is step on the opposite side and have the ball roll into the hole. They didn't need to both jump up on there and then him try to putt it in. I was like, That is so what? No,
It
you
was
just needed to stand
dumb.
on the edge to have it roll in. It was so funny because I was like, "Oh, perfect! They already showed them how to win because that's what they did. The other guys
Yep,
did."
yep. And they didn't
So
use it. I didn't like it. The
yeah.
two things that I liked in this movie were when he's going to his happy place and he like has a pair of medium sized pants that he can fit in for the first time. I thought that was very funny. Um, and then there's a part at the end where his sons are trying to be memes. Not memes. What are they called? Mimes.
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, I want to be a talking mime, and he's like, I don't think that's how it works. I thought that was funny too.
Yeah.
Those were the two moments.
I like. I kind of was. I did not like how he changed his happy moment because like it was first it was like his wife and beer, but he's like, oh well, now I have to be sober, so I probably shouldn't have beer in there. And then like I thought it was still going to be like his wife, but now his kids and stuff in
That would
there.
have been
And
better.
then yeah, and then I was like, his family didn't even freaking show up.
And he's doing all of this for his family. Like that was such a
Yeah,
slam dunk. Duh. Why would you not?
yeah, yeah. So there was like, I agree with you. I feel
Like
like it was a lot of forced jokes that I don't think landed.
and like you're doing all this to get your daughter to ballet school. Why would that not be at least part of it? Where she's on a stage and she's dancing. Like why?
Yeah.
That's your whole goal.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have. I was thinking about this. There's a few movies where they have the old retired guy, and it worked. Like Top Gun Maverick, I love that movie. I genuinely love it. But it feels like they didn't ruin his happily ever after to create the second movie. I don't like when they ruin the happily ever after. I don't like the Luke Skywalker thing. I don't like this. You don't have to turn your main character into a loser to have him continue to develop. Like you don't
I
have to
agree.
reset.
Yeah. I would always get upset when I knew there was a second of a movie coming out when the two the love interest and the main guy got together because I'm like, they're gonna get divorced. It always happens in the second one.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So
it's
I
just
agree.
dumb. Like why can't you just have uh, two people that still love each other, but they're working and they're dealing with their kids' problems? Or maybe your life did fall apart, but you still are still a good person, and you're trying to figure out how to deal with your life falling apart. And maybe I don't. You could have some reason that he doesn't want to golf anymore. Like there's different things that you could have done than just killing his wife and turning him into a loser. Like
Yeah.
I'm just I don't know.
Yep.
Wasn't was not a fan of this movie. Won't watch
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It is
Fair.
one of the lower Adam Sandler movies for me, which is yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah.
It's been rough for a while. It's been rough for a while.
Yeah. All right, and with that, let's go to Josh, one of your topics.
Okay, let's do Star Citizen. They just came out with another new update, and they came out with a new ship, which is stupid because they already have enough ships, and if they would just develop the game better and get rid of some bugs, and then start working on more ships, that would be great. However, this new ship looks like a Naboo starfighter mixed with General Grievous's ship from the third movie, mixed with a World War II Mustang. And it's super cool, and I bought it, and I love it. And I'm part of the problem, is what I have to say there. But more seriously, they came out with 4.3, and in this update, they added investigation missions. So you're actually going into these bases ran by this private corporation that are destroyed for some reason, and we're trying to figure out why. So we're actually playing a video game now, where you're discovering pieces, you're following this quest, and it's not just like running cargo or just do XYZ then get said reward. It's more like we are actually ourselves as players trying to piece these pieces of information together, which I am having a great time with. And then the area that they added for these missions is very interesting and very cool. because it's like this destroyed research center, and you're going in and there's pieces of rubble missing, and there's still like trying to protect the secret research that they were doing, so you're still having to fight your way through it. And the combat music they added, to me, is Halo tier, Doom tier combat music. It is
Really?
so awesome. It gets me so amped. Like, I'm like, I want more combat in these encounters so I can listen to more of this music. This is awesome. Um, Star Citizen always has good to great music, but like this particularly, he's like, I'm amped. I'm ready to go kill some NPCs. I'm ready to fight some worm things. I'm ready to do this, um, and I'm having a great time with it. It's super fun. There's not like Star Citizen things where there's players camping outside said reward, killing everyone, because like the reward in these missions is just more information. So like I haven't encountered that. Um, I'm having a
That's
great
cool.
time with it. It's a very cool update. It's tons of fun.
That'll be good. Uh, yeah, because I like the mission where we were supposed to get. I think I did it twice with you, where you get like the key cards to get something so that further on a sandworm or something.
Yeah,
But there was always other players like sniping me or killing us. And so I like the idea that I could maybe do this even if you guys aren't online to help keep me alive.
yeah. It's
So
definitely playable by yourself. It would be fun to play with a group. And instead of key cards, you're getting pieces of information, which is very cool. I'm a big fan of having a mystery that I'm trying to solve and be motivated to complete the mission because of that rather than, well, if I complete it, I'll get 33K, or if I complete it and complete enough of these, I might be able to get a ship or something like that. It's more like I'm actually interested in what these pieces are, and I like it. It's very very cool. I'm a fan.
cool. Um, Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, because we always rate things, but I mean, you've talked about Star Citizen enough, but um, with this new update, how much, like, is it re-upping you wanting to play Star Citizen?
Yeah, it definitely is getting me more amped up for it. We're getting nearer to the end of the year, which means their mainline story based game, Squadron 42, is getting nearer and nearer to release. So we're supposed to be getting content more like what that game is going to look like. And this is like the first really big, like, cinematic piece, right? So you're going into this thing. It's got this defective reactor that is shooting out um, radiation in waves. So you have to like time it to hide behind barriers and wear radiation proof suits. And then you get to it and you go into this zero G area. It looks gorgeous. It's very, very cinematic. And then you have a 3D combat where there is no up or down because it's zero G. They're coming in from every angle. You get the awesome music, and you have to still dodge the waves of radiation because you're right at the heart of this very cool thing where you can see this ball charge up, charge up, charge up, and then boom, release. And it's super cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this game is there is no really loading screen except for when you're loading in,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's no cutscenes. You're just in this, which
Yep.
is really cool and insane. Um, yeah, you're gonna have to let me know when you're back on Star Citizen so that I can see your ship.
It's
um,
Sounds really cool.
all right. Well, then we'll go to my topic. So, I was decided to run off into the mountains again for 2 days, and Josh was like, "You should listen to Gregor the Overlander while you're out there," and I was like, "Okay." So I downloaded it, and I started listening to it as I just kind of car camp, and so I found this place up in this up this canyon, and I set up my bed to where like this is how much room I have in between my head and the ceiling. And I start like listening to this book, and I just started getting claustrophobic a little bit because in the beginning it's explaining how Gregor like gets sucked into this vent with his sister, and they're in what's called the Underland. And so in my brain, I'm just picturing them in this small little area because I'm in this small little area. And then I like opened up my sunroof so that I didn't feel so claustrophobic. Um, and then I kind of stopped listening to it while I was like trying to sleep that night because I'm like I'm just I don't know why this book is giving me claustrophobia, but because it's like literally saying how like this castle that the Underlanders live in is like 200 feet tall, and like everything's really open and spacious, but in my mind I'm like they're underground, it's all coming in, it's all closing in on me. So, I waited until I woke up in the morning and was driving around to listen to it more. And I think I'm going to continue listening to the series. I'm almost finished with the first book. I was like, I was like saying how I was in the mood for fantasy. And granted, this is, I guess, technically fantasy. Um, I just like when I think of fantasy, I think of like dragons and elves and uh, satyrs and magic and things. And Josh is like, giant rats and bugs isn't fantasy. And I was like, technically,
Prophecies.
they're small, so everything looks bigger.
It doesn't
um,
actually state whether or not they shrink or it's actually big, but
in
yeah.
my mind, they're in a tiny little tunnel, so they're tiny.
So Gregor shrinks. In your mind, Gregor shrinks when he goes to the Underland. Okay.
Yeah, because like what I'm viewing as like the Underland is like basically there he went underground and now he's like in that's what my brain is telling me. So
That's a
that's
valid interpretation. Like I said, it never expressly says that
yeah.
it shrinks or everything is still regular sized.
Yeah. I think I'd be more enthusiastic about this book too if I'm having a hard time with the the reader, the person who reads the book, just by how he like does Boots's voice, the little girl's voice. Um, I think I'm getting used to it though, so I won't count that against it. Um, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like in this first book, they're setting up everything and like introducing the world, and they have a prophecy of like they need two crawlers, two spinners, two um, royalty, two overlanders, one. I think is it the son of a son is in the
I don't remember what the prophecy
yeah,
is.
but
I just
they
remember being blown away with how they solved the prophecy.
oh okay. So have I? That's later then.
That's the end of the book.
Oh okay, because I was like they um yeah, they're going and collecting all of these people to then go end the prophecy, and Gregor is wants to do the prophecy because at the end of the prophecy is his dad who's been missing for like 2 years or so. Um, and then, yeah, so that's Gregor's wanting to go forward with it. And it's interesting because there was a quote in there that I really liked where they're like, courage doesn't count until you can count. Because Boots is this little girl who's like brave because she doesn't know better, and like the brother is like, oh, I wish I could just be brave like Boots, she just is always having a good time and I'm always scared. And then one of the guys is like, yeah, courage doesn't count unless you can count. Boots, can you count? How many is this? And Boots can't count, so he's like, there you go, it does not count that she's like so brave and doing all these things, it's just she doesn't know any better. um so I like that little thing. But yeah, I'm gonna continue listening to the series. Um, it was just kind of funny because I was listening to Aragon, and then I was telling Josh, I was like, yeah, I kind of want to, might pick up a new book that's kind of like this. And like, granted, this is fiction. It's not dragons, but there are bats and flying.
No dragons, but it is fantasy.
But it is fantasy.
And it was not like me saying this is like Aragon. My exact
Oh,
quote was,
okay.
"You should listen to Gregor the Overlander, so that you can see I'm right about middle grade fantasy books."
Yeah, in my brain, I thought you were telling me, oh, this also is like Aragon. um, all right. Well, yeah. With that, I would say I would give this book so far 7.5. Um, do I think it's one of the best of the middle school readings, like you said? I think it's up there, but I still would rank Fablehaven above it
The
so far.
first one, I'm not even offended if you do it, but the first Fablehaven, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I will give it a shot, and I will see.
Yeah, you need to be our tiebreaker. Because we know I have such a huge nostalgia for Fablehaven that I could be skewing it. Um, but with that, let's go back to one of Josh's other topics.
Okay, so I wrote down underrated movies because ever since we did that episode of underrated stuff, my mind has been reminiscing and just remembering all of these things. Um, and these are movies that I imagine both of you have seen and possibly have forgotten about, but I don't necessarily think many of our listeners have even heard of these movies. Um, they are The Singles Ward, The Best 2 Years, and The RM. Um, I was. They're LDS movies based on return missionaries and that kind of phase of LDS life and what it's like to date generally, with The Best 2 Years being the difference maker because it's like what it's like to be on a mission. And like growing up, The Best 2 Years was like the LDS movie. And I gotta say, that one is the worst of the movies. Like, it is still very underrated, super underappreciated, still has some funniness, but that one I would say you really have to be LDS or know enough about LDS life to get it. Whereas, like, the RM and the Singles Ward, I could say anybody could watch it and have a great time with it. Um, the RM specifically, I was genuinely like laughing the entire movie. I would start to die down and then we'd get another joke. And then I had like this like mind blown moment where again, unless you're from Utah, you probably wouldn't get it, but the Tongan guy is Big Buddha. And I was like, that guy was the news channel guy of my childhood. Um, I had a great time with these movies. I would recommend non-LDS people watch them. Like the Singles Ward, yeah, you may not be LDS or get what it's like to go to a Singles Ward, but like you've gone to a middle school dance, so you'll be in on the joke. I promise they're pretty much the same. The RM is all about how like expectations when coming back home are completely different. How many of us went away for school and came back and were like forgotten, or like I didn't know you were visiting today, and just like all that kind of stuff. There are some LDS specific jokes which I found particularly funny, like when they compared the Elders Quorum preparation to the what's the women's one, Relief Society preparation. So it like shows them and they're like, here's this magnet to remember that this is what this scripture's about. And then it cuts over to the Elders Quorum and he's like, so does anybody have their manuals and would like to read the entire section? And please take your time. And everybody's like, dope. And the women, it cuts back to the women and they're all like crying about how sweet and spiritual it is. And then it cuts back to the guys and they're like, uh, I didn't know I was supposed to teach today. I'm pretty sure it was your week. um, very, very good movies. I had a great time with it. I genuinely, like, remembered the best 2 years being the best one. And then I'm just, like, blown away by the RM. And then, like, just as a side note, the soundtrack for the best 2 years, or for the RM and the Singles Ward, unless you're LDS and you know primary songs, they're probably not going to connect with you the same way they did with me. But, like, both of them have a fantastic version of Popcorn Popping. And, like, what else could you ask for, Colin? Like, what more could you want than a good version of Popcorn Popping?
So you know what's crazy? I have only seen Church Ball. I've never seen any of the others.
That's insane.
You need to watch them.
Homework assignment for Conlon. He's going to watch the LDS movies from the early 2000s. Because, like, I would wager you're going to laugh at the RM.
I quote I can see your arm all the time.
Like,
Yeah.
the whole flip thing from the best 2 years. And the fact that, like, so these two missionaries, right? They make a deal. The one is really annoyed that the other person uses flip all the time as a substitution for the F word. So they make a deal that this one gets to punch this one anytime he says flip. And it gets to the point where this guy's super irritated with it, and he calls the whole thing off. And then the mission president comes in and is visiting and says flip, and the other guy just instinctively goes to hit the mission president. Like, these are genuinely very funny movies, and I understand that they're going to be the most funny for LDS cultured people, but I do think most of these would still be funny outside the LDS culture.
I do like when the mission president's coming, they have to flip all the picture.
Oh yeah, the one missionary has, like, pictures of girls on the wall, and then on the back it's the prophet and his two counselors. And so when the mission president comes, they flip the.
So funny.
It's very funny. Yeah.
Cool. I will. I mean, I grew up in this culture. They've been on my list forever. I've never watched them.
I'm so shocked by that. Like, it's like I watch these all the time. Like, I remember it was one of the biggest tragedies in my family when somebody accidentally hit the record button over the RM. So, like, you get, like, a third the way through, and then it turns into Boo Bah from PBS to the end, and it's like, we ruined our VHS of that movie, and that was, like, a big tragedy, big, huge event in my family.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, to rate these, the RM is a 9 out of 10. The best 2 years is like a 7.5. Probably would be funnier to you, Conlon, as I didn't serve a mission. The Singles Ward is like an 8.5 out of 10. Like, these are so funny, very creative.
Have you seen Church Ball? Do you like Church Ball?
No, I don't.
Okay. I thought it was okay.
It is okay, but it's not the same.
It's not as good as these.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Church Ball is actually popular enough you can, like, actually get it on, like, Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It was, like, a big enough budget thing. These ones, I had to search high and low to the deep recesses of the internet to get access to. Like,
Go to Deseret Book.
they're just not available anywhere. But yeah.
Oh, what's the church streaming website? I bet they're on there.
They're not.
They're not?
I couldn't find them anywhere. Desiree's Book streaming does have Church Ball, but does not have these three.
Wow.
Interesting.
Was there a way you would recommend watching it? An order?
So you can actually find them on Internet Archive if you know how to search for them. So, like, you can Google it. Google the name of the movie.
I mean, like, in order of watch the RM first, or what would you recommend?
I probably start with the best 2 years because that is generally the most accepted popular one.
Okay.
The next, like, traditionally popular one is probably the RM, and then the least popular of them is the singles ward.
Okay.
But, like, honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, I had a great time with the RM. There's a scene when, so he he's playing this return missionary whose family forgot that it was his time to come home. So he's like goes to his house, which is not his house anymore. And so he's trying to break in and he climbs this ladder and there's this Chinese guy in the bathroom taking a shower and he kicks him and makes him fall out, right? And that's kind of funny in itself. But then he tells the story and he's like freaking out and he's like, "And this ninja in my shower." um it's super funny. He has like this girl that he was riding on his mission that he was planning on proposing to when he gets back, and he comes back to find she's engaged to a guy named Kirby, and that's just a vacuum cleaner. And what's really funny about that is the actor's real name is Kirby. Um,
Kirby
so
Hayworn, right?
yeah, so like it doesn't matter what order you watch them in; they're not sequels of each other. I kind of thought it would be funny if in the singles ward he was called to Wyoming because that's where his RM mission is from, was Wyoming. But he
Oh,
gets
so is it the same
it's the same
like
actor.
cast?
Same actors,
Ah.
yep, same director, same studio. It's like these BYU guys who made these movies. Um, but no, he gets called to Idaho, and then in the RM he comes back from Wyoming. So it's not that different, but I thought it would be a nice like shout out to the other movie that like hypothetically could kind of be the same person. But he's actually not the main actor in the singles ward. In the singles ward, you follow this like former inactive missionary guy who gets roped into taking the local LDS guys to the singles ward and meets the attractive girl and decides to pretend to be Mormon, and it's funny. But yeah, Kirby is in all three of these movies, but like he's only the main actor of the RM.
I will watch at least one this week.
You should watch all of them. They're great. They're so good. They're not that long. You're gonna have a great time with it.
All right. Let's see. So that goes on to our shared topic.
No, I've got one more.
Oh, do you? Oh, I didn't see it right next there. Okay, Colin, yes.
Okay, so I've decided I like British romance movies. I'm gonna watch more of them. I watched Notting Hill, and I love this movie. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Um, I think Julia Roberts is fantastic, and I didn't realize that she's done so many freaking movies, but she's awesome. Hugh Grant in this is great. He's got a lot of. He's a charming dude. He's a charming dude. And there's a lot of cheesy lines in this movie. Like, a lot. Have you seen it, Lauren?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's got so much cheese. And if the actress, if Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant were so freaking good, it would not work. But they are, and it's great. Basically, Julia Roberts plays herself. So she's the biggest star in the world at this time, female actress in the world. And she basically plays the biggest female actress in the world. And she runs into this local bookstore owner in Notting Hill in London. And she likes going to these little bookstores and getting away from the crowds and the paparazzi and everything. And they run into each other. And obviously, you're a romance movie, so they hit off, they have some chemistry. She's famous and she just decides to leave. But Hugh Grant and her happen to run into each other again in Notting Hill. They go on this little date. She is charmed by him. Like it's a pretty simple romance movie, but you have the beautiful landscapes of London. You have amazing acting. You have charming side characters. Eventually, Julia Roberts runs into Hugh Grant's family, and the family just feels very much like a family. And it felt more grounded and more real than a lot of romance movies do. Along with having a sprinkling of cheese, their chemistry was really good. If you're into romance type stuff, this one's a good one. This one is a very, very, very good one. And I had a famous line that I've heard for a long time, but Julia Roberts is like, she's hiding away from the paparazzi and she's staying at Hugh Grant's house. And she's like, how long should I stay? And he's like, how about you stay forever? And I was like, that's what that's from! Let's go! And it was just good. It was just really, really enjoyable. I would give it a 7.5. And if you like romances, you should absolutely watch this movie.
So you called this a British romance?
Yeah, because it's in Britain, and everybody's British, and it's so British because there's so much British all around. And
Okay, so is this like your first British romance, or
no, I
no?
have quite a few British romances that I like that I'm trying to think of what they are right now. Give me 1 second while my second brain does my thinking for me.
Your second brain meaning Google?
Yep. Da, da, da. Okay, let's see what we got. Because I know that there are quite a few that I really, really like.
Huge.
Kate and Leopold.
Australia? Oh. I was like,
I like that one. I'm looking at a list right now, and I wouldn't have thought about Braveheart, but it's my favorite movie, so I guess there's that too.
oh.
I wouldn't have really called that one, but okay. Dang it, my favorite romance movie. What the freak is it called? I feel dumb.
Oh, In Time or something?
Yeah, About Time. That one's
About Time.
British. I love that movie. It's really, really good. Holiday, I actually do like. Four Weddings and a Funeral, I do like. I liked it over there a lot. A lot. There's a movie called Jack and Sarah that is very, very good. Like I said, About Time is my favorite romance movie ever by far. I wouldn't call Stardust one. It's on this list, but nah.
I mean, it is.
You think so?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I love that movie too.
Yeah.
A Fish Called Wanda. I love that movie. I think I like British romance movies. Like a lot.
I was just asking because, like, when you said, I think I like British romance about Notting Hill, and so I was like, is this your first one?
No, I just
So,
was like, I can't think of a British one that I've not liked.
well, isn't Jane Austen British romance?
But I haven't really
So
watched
you
that
don't
much
like
of it.
them.
But I guess I've seen some of those. I don't like that one. I don't like that one.
You
And
don't like
Austin
the
Land,
iconic British.
I don't like the iconic. I like the lower grade stuff, okay?
I
I'm
like
just
the
not
hole in the
that
wall.
fancy. I like that hole in the wall romance. I did like that one too.
That is an
Yes, it
Irish
was
romance. Let's not get... Okay.
But,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, the Irish people will be very angry that you're calling them Britain.
hey,
I am not what Josh says, any of our Irish listeners. If we have any. If we ever get any.
we will get some. It's gonna from this episode talking about Irish romances.
They're like, let's cancel these people.
The one that's super famous that I don't love is British Jones Diary. I am not a big fan of that movie, but that is a pretty famous British romance movie. But I like a lot of other ones. A lot. My Fair Lady, freaking great. Let's go. Lauren, have you seen About Time? I can't remember.
I think so. That's the one where like he um he goes back in time and his kid changes because of how far he went back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I love that movie. I was gonna be like, if I need to watch the RM, you gotta watch About Time because it's so good. It's so good. I think they're they're different movies. They're different kind of things. That's fair. I anyway, did I even give a rating of this?
Um,
Seven 7.75. Yeah, I very very much enjoyed this movie. I will watch it again sometime. It made me. I was laughing throughout the entire thing. It was just it's really good.
very good. All right, so now on to our shared topic. So last week, the boys asked me if I would pick the topics. And they're like, what do you want to watch, Lauren? I was like, oh, if we're going to go with what I want to watch, not what you guys want to watch. I mentioned in our last episode the magical legend of the leprechauns, and for this episode, Dinotopia. I did not suggest either of these because I thought that they would enjoy them. They surprised me and enjoyed The Magical Legend of the Leprechauns, but I feel like we're going to have a different feeling for Dinotopia. Let's start off with you, Conlon.
Okay, so I spoiled spoiled that I think this movie sucks.
How
Um,
far did you watch all three episodes?
I watched two of them and I was like, I can't do it. I
Okay.
literally could not get myself to waste another hour on these terrible things. Okay, so they they need these sunstones for power, right? But they freaking live in a waterfall city. Turn these waterfalls into power, you stupid, dumb, freaking people. The entire time I was like, all you do is make stupid decisions. The Tira, what are they called? Flying dinosaurs. Ah,
Oh, I can't remember, but basically pterodactyls.
yes, they're attacking from the sky. Let's not run into our houses. Let's just go ah and run around the city. Stupid. Everybody makes stupid decisions. The world doesn't make any sense. It's like they live in a dictatorship and we're supposed to promote that it's a good thing and they don't like want to promote growing and becoming better people and advancing society. It feels like I'm watching freaking Kim Jong Un in some stupid, dumbass waterfall city. The I think the CGI looks terrible. This was if this was in the '90s, maybe it felt like I was watching something like Hercules, like that level of CGI. But it's a whole decade later, and they spent a crap ton of money on this stupid thing. Um, the acting is terrible. There is literally I don't have a thing about this show that I thought was good. I thought this was absolute trash. Did not like this show at all. Could not finish it. Will never finish it. No. Two thumbs down. Garbage.
Okay, so we have
Oh, man. I just said I can't think of anything. Can I think of anything to give this to? Anything at all. I guess the waterfalls kind of look good with their stupid no getting power from them dumb retardedness. Uh, no, it's a one. This is a stupid. This is a terrible show. This
okay,
is
so
a terrible,
we have one hater, Josh.
terrible show.
Gonna make it two.
No. No, I would not.
If I could be a pterodactyl rider, no. I don't want to be a pterodactyl.
Vegetarian for the rest of your life. Okay. I agree with that.
Good. Nice. I think I remember saying last week too to for these two shows, I was like, don't bring your critical thinking brains, just enjoy them.
I genuinely, truly tried. I truly, really
The
tried.
critic will not die.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's very, very true.
Yeah, I will agree that I always was confused that she was the main girl. Um, yeah, because I also agree that the blonde girl is more aesthetic. Um, but yeah, I
That was
mhm,
such a
yeah.
nice way to say that. Such a PC. She's just more aesthetic. Like just got the aesthetic quality.
Yeah, yeah, I love this show. I remember watching this when I was a kid. And I always got really excited when we started watching this because once again, it's like it's we would watch it as like a movie because it was all on one VHS that we had because my grandma would record things and then give it to us, and this was one of the ones that we had. And so I'd be so excited because this was basically like almost a 4 hour movie that we could watch. So that meant I was in air conditioning for like 4 hours. And this was one of the movies that we would watch. My mom would only let us watch like the Book of Mormon stories, um, this Dinotopia, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, or the Old Testament. That's what we could watch on Sundays, and so I always would pick Dinotopia because that was the more exciting of all of them. And yeah, I'll hold off on what happens at the end because there are some things that I wanted to comment on that. I will say the brothers are horrible at swimming. Like they swim like this. And it's like the angles of like the cameraman who is also filming them is fighting for his life. It's so like the angles are always like all over. It's so funny. Um, because let's see, in the second one, you have the Triceratops with the 26, right? Um, let's see, and then does Carl?
Most of it is about David's time becoming a pterodactyl rider and Carl's trying to figure out a way to get off the island. And the stupid part is he finds this tiny rowboat and he's like, "Yes, I'm gonna cross the ocean with this thing. I gotta fix it up."
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember if that was if you had the scene with him trying to leave or not.
Yeah, he made the greatest throw I have ever seen in a movie. Conlon, you saw that throw, right? Have you seen a sports movie where somebody went, and the thing flew like over the distance of a football field and landed perfectly next to the tower on the roof? Like, what
No.
a throw! I remember watching it and being like, "Okay, we're gonna watch it get like halfway and like plunk into the ocean." But no, it got all the way there, almost perfectly on target. Like, what a great throw that was.
Yeah, it's something that I like about Carl's character is that he's always like getting into like the shady stuff, but then always ends up doing the good thing at the in the end. And then like you just have David who's like scared of everything but ends up having to like push himself to do the brave things. Um yeah, I really like this show. I honestly think that the like yeah, the CGI isn't good in a lot of places, but for like how old it was, I thought they did pretty good, especially with like the pterodactyls. There was one scene that they're like off in the distance and they're like fighting each other that I was like, that was really good actually. Like gold
This
star.
came out after Hercules, Xena, Jurassic Park, and Lord of the Rings.
Okay, yeah, but
This looks
what was their budget?
awful. $80 million.
$80 million for
Okay,
this?
Conlon,
Yes.
you're comparing it to three exceptions from the time.
I
Yeah.
compared it to Xena and Hercules. And like I said, Xena and Hercules are about a decade earlier. And if this was a decade earlier, if this was like 92, I would not have this as a negative note. I'd be like, it still doesn't look great, but it was 92. Like, whatever, it's fine. This was 2002. No. And you got an $80 million budget. No. This looks like dog shit. This looks terrible.
I disagree. Like, I think it could
Oh.
be better. Yeah, but honestly, I wasn't mad at it watching it.
Does it lower it a little bit knowing $80 million?
I'm wondering where they put that money. But,
Getting those actors who gave
yeah,
zero effort in their performance.
it was all the sunstones they had to buy. um, but yeah, I'll be interested to hear what you think about the end part, because the end part has a lot of things that like have attributed to some of my phobias. um,
I thought the alligator scene looked really great, honestly.
yeah,
It, I thought it was great.
yeah. Terrified of alligators. This movie did not help. Uh, but yeah, so this was just like a lot of has a lot of nostalgia to me, but then watching back on it, I was like, I was worried that it was maybe a little too slow paced for you guys, because I know sometimes you guys have ADHD with stuff. So I was worried that it might have been a little too slow at some parts, because like I always get bored when they start talking like about the Dinotopia laws and things like that. But it's really funny because my family, whenever we say like, "Oh, bye, remember who you are, don't spit into the wind, breathe deep, fly high," and we always do this to each other. Not that, but it's in the movie for flying high. Gosh.
Lawrence family.
Yeah.
Hit that.
I was saying that this movie felt like Kim Jong-un was the leader of the city. So
You
apparently,
realize that's the point of the movie, right?
oh, it feels like they're promoting it though. Maybe you didn't
No,
feel
the
that way,
whole thing is
but
that
it
the
felt
brothers show up and get
promoting.
people to start thinking differently.
Yeah.
Like, that is the whole purpose.
And near
Maybe.
the end of the second one, I think it's showing you how he's running it is not how he's like. No, we just need to keep doing what we're doing, and they're like, well, it's not working because everything
Need to
the
change
sunstones
things.
are dying. We need to do something else. And he's like, no, we don't have this, whatever. And then I always quote the one raindrop raises the sea. Because like they're saying like just one person can make a difference, but it's just really funny because at work there's somebody else who knows that quote, and we're like, somebody needs to do this, and they'll be like one raindrop, and like, you shut up. But it has some quotes that I like, and then I'll always fight with my friend who's read the books where normal land, like the people who aren't a part of the pterodactyl troop, they say breathe deep, seek peace. And then the pterodactyl troop, they say breathe deep, fly high. And so my one friend gets in arguments with me about breathe deep, seek peace, and breathe deep, fly high. Not that it's important, but
I love that you love this movie. I love that for you. Seriously, truly, I am so happy. There's a lot of people. It's a 6.5, and there's a lot of people who have this rated very, very well. I am so happy for all of those wonderful people, including you. And whatever Josh ends up scoring it, it's just not good. Oh, I can. Oh, man, I am debating watching the third episode just so I can talk to you guys about what I don't like. But
just so I can hate some more.
maybe the third one will be like a revelation, and I'll be like, I was wrong the whole time. This is a masterpiece.
It's
I
never
do-
gonna be that.
No. I do think that like the second and third one are like, the first one's very much just like setting up everything, and then the second and third I feel like are a lot better. um but yeah, I'll be excited to see the third episode if you end up watching it, Conlin. But more excited for Josh to watch it, who's not hating on it.
I'm glad he's not hating on it for real. Lauren, I didn't want to hate on your movies. I really didn't. I was like, I really want to give her positiveness, and I want to be a positive person. You're so positive. And then I watched something that I could not be positive about.
It was funny because I was happy this week watching my two suggestions, and like in the back of my mind, I was like, I wonder how much they're gonna hate these. I was like just fully expecting you guys to hate both of my suggestions, so I'm not hurt at all that you didn't like it. Um, yeah, I think it's okay if you just don't like the hidden gems.
You gave me one that I like. That's fantastic.
I was very surprised that you both liked that one. That was a good
That
one.
one was really good. Very, very good.
Well, I think that about does it for this
Josh,
episode.
what was your
Oh,
rating?
I will say this. I've been doing some research. Conlan's been freaking out. This came out the same year as Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets. And I do think the Chamber of Secrets does look a little bit better. Little bit. But also, Chamber of Secrets had $20 more million in its budget. So, there is a little more validity to the look of it than I originally said, but I still think it looks pretty good, even for 2002. Because everything Conlon called it out for, like Lord of the Rings, they had practical effects. They weren't CGIing it. This whole movie is CGI. So, like,
yeah,
80
and
million isn't quite as much as you're giving it credit for in terms of movie. Because, like, Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, brand new IP, not a big thing, had a budget of 100 million. So, I'm
What do
still
you
on the
mean,
side
not
of
a
pretty
big
good.
thing? Harry
Like,
Potter's the biggest
it
thing
was
like
the
ever.
first one. It was
Okay,
the first movie,
that's what you're
so
saying.
it
That's what you're
wasn't
saying.
a
Okay.
big thing yet, right? Like,
I see.
they were taking a chance by giving it some money. They didn't know it was going to do well, right?
Yeah.
The
That's true.
books were selling pretty well, but that doesn't guarantee box
The- the-
office hit, right?
Yeah.
So that's my point, is like, on something they weren't sure of, they still gave it $100 million budget. So still on the side of it looks pretty good for the time, but like, yeah, $80 million probably should have done a little better. I
well,
would give it. Oh, go ahead.
I'm questioning because like with that was a budget for a 2 hour movie versus a series. Was it 80 million for the series?
It was 80 million
80
for the
million
series.
For the series.
So
Okay,
it is more. It's more screen time. There's some truth
and
to
they
that.
have a lot of CGI. Like it's not just
The whole
1 minute.
CGI. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
There is some truth to that.
Okay, I would give it like a 7.2 out of 10. I am liking it. I'm excited to watch part 3. But like, I also know that I feel like a lot of the charm is going to be making fun of the Prison Break actor and all that kind of stuff, and that's not going to be a rewatchable enjoyment. It's going to be pretty much a one and done kind of a thing for me.
All right.
That's fair.
Lauren, did you rate it before? I don't remember.
I would rate it an 8. I usually watch it whenever I see it pop up on a streaming service. That
So, Colin,
has
you're the outlier. Lauren and I both agree that it's 1 point less than the Magical Legend of the Leprechaun. Both of us.
true.
Yeah. I am heavily the outlier. And I'm still like, one, it just seems so harsh. I kind of feel bad about that, but I can't think of anything I liked about this movie.
Didn't like the T-Rex scare in the middle of the night.
No. I really, really did not like this movie.
I also didn't like the T-Rex scare because it was like, where do you think a T-Rex is going to attack this city that doesn't have the magical protection on it? And then it's like a T-Rex shows up. And they're like, oh no, who could have predicted that?
It's called foreshadowing.
Oh, this is not very good. Hey, you know what? There are worse things than this movie. There are.
There are a
Oh,
lot worse things
There are
than
a
this
lot
movie.
worse things than this movie, so I can't
There
give it a
are
1.
easily 4 Star Wars movies worse than this movie.
There are definitely worse things in this movie. So I'm gonna give it a 3, even though I can't think of any positive reason. Basically I'm just raising the score because there are worse things than this movie.
pity points is what I call that.
That's what it's getting. I will give it a 3.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up our episode for this week. Hopefully, you guys can find those hidden gems and hopefully get your friends to like them. And comment any hidden gems that you guys think, some stuff that you guys have seen that nobody else has seen. We'll give it a shot. Thanks and see you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.